in the city is based on what the council has said and what the chair does. The chair operates, meaning if the person is not in agreement with what the chair has decided, that person has the ability to appeal the chair's decision, which I asked the question. If the second ward alderperson wanted to appeal the decision, she chose not to appeal the decision, she just chose to be disruptive, which is why she is no longer here. And as far as for Alderman he didn't know the Pledge of Allegiance. When we asked him to say the Pledge of Allegiance, and he said, and I specifically said, I pledge allegiance to the flag, the United States of America, and to my constituents. That's what it said. So the bottom line is, if y'all don't get smoke, I can give it to you. But I'm not trying to create that up here, because we're trying to do something different. But they're going to stop that type of behavior. And then when those things happen, people in the audience want to say it or see it and say that we're out of order and we don't know what we're doing. In fact, the fact of the matter is those people are out of order. Because the chair is the one who runs the meeting. Period. If there is a problem with the determination of the chair, the alderperson, the trustee, the commissioner, the congressperson, the senator, the state rep, whoever it is, they can appeal the decision of the chair. But they cannot decide that they want to go ahead and disrupt the meeting. That cannot happen. That's when you start to things get out of order and out of control. And that's when people in the audience start to stand up and try to act like they can also engage in the meeting. So that's how it goes. Now, of course, an allegation of collusion, I guess, that also goes along to say that Alderman Smith is colluding, I guess, with myself. It's just she's learning more of the rules. And as she learns more of the rules, she decides that she's going to use those rules. And I'm glad that she's doing it. So that's how that goes. But you have to obey the rules. On another note, the second ward alderperson was the judge in the caucus for the Democratic Party. And when she was a judge and everything was out of order, when she was the judge in the Democratic Party caucus, she had absolutely nothing to say. Because her speech comes when it benefits her or something that she is passionate about versus something that is overall beneficial for the people. And it's amazing how these things can happen. We can allow a black woman to get called a B in the middle of a meeting and nobody has a question about it except for that person's boyfriend. Those things seem to be okay. But trying to keep order and decorum in a meeting, that's the problem. And when you don't try to keep order and decorum in a meeting, that's exactly what happens. When people start fighting in the middle of the meeting because somebody got up and said what they said. And at that particular point in time, everybody should have been incensed. Anybody who was a female should have been incensed, and anybody who had a mother should have been incensed. But that seems to be okay. Because as long as we can keep the drama and the foolishness, and we can give the media something.
I'm here. I just wanted to share a little bit of the April 28th meeting. That was where Clark accused me of being a child abuser, and I had Colby arrested and called another neighbor like some weird insult about marijuana. Like, said he was arrested or something from it. It was very strange. One of his more crazy meetings. So I was just sharing a little bit about that. And I was just finishing up Conscious's video. Did you really think I was gone? I was wondering because I was like, oh, all her videos disappeared. But I see she, I don't know, she must be doing something with that. But hey, Wyoming, how are you? I'm so sorry this is so late. I really wanted to get on earlier. It's just been one of those days. So yeah, I hope you guys are doing well. I wanted to review a little bit. All right, let me tell these guys I'm live. Oh, let me see if Crook is still up. Joel, did you guys oh, hey, you are. Okay, good. Hey, Crook, I just messaged you. Okay, cool. I know it's like it's horrible. I try not to stay up too late, but I know you're probably up late. Wyoming, at least you're further out west, so it's not as late by you, but it's just a little after midnight here. Thank you, Burgundy. Oh, that's very kind of you. Thank you. Thank you so much. You guys are making me think. I'm like, ooh, I want to think of some fun things, causes, people that we can fundraise for specifically, because I know people love that. You always want to see where your money's going, right? Did I think I told you guys about the young lady who was let's actually start with that. The young lady who was great. There was a shooting last Wednesday. It was the day before the mayor did his interview with Jedediah, the call-in interview. So this 11-year-old was grazed with a bullet, I guess. I have been talking with the mother on and off, but just haven't. I really wanted her to come on the show too, but I know it's crazy time for the family because the poor young lady's still in the hospital, but she did talk to Fox 32, so I wanted to pull that up for you guys. Maybe we'll start with that. We have all the crazy Colby stuff, but she is okay. She's free. That's the most important thing. Okay, let me pull that up, you guys. Yay! Oh, and you're a new member. Thank you, Burgundy. Oh my God, you guys are awesome. Seriously, I was feeling tired just from covering the stuff with Colby today and yesterday. So I was feeling a little discouraged, but coming here and being with you guys is a nice way, to kind of wrap up the day. Come on in. Oh wait, I just realized I have to get I gotta get the YouTube link for them. Otherwise, they're gonna be like, come on in where? Okay, sorry, let me send this out to my channel. So yes, hopefully you guys all had a great wait, I'm like, wait, what's today again? Okay, well, technically it's Friday. Technically it's Saturday now here, just after midnight, but it was Friday today. Tomorrow we also have I don't want to just cover the negative stuff. There's supposed to be a youth fashion show at Thornton Township High School where my mother went. 67 grad. I taught there for French for a few years. So they do have a beautiful auditorium. And there is CETA and I think Harvey Neighborhood Network, maybe one other group. They're some of the high schoolers. I went to the one last year. I don't know if I'm going to be able to go this year, but they're doing a fashion show. So if you get some time to stop by, that's going to be at 12:30 tomorrow at Thornton Township High School Auditorium in Harvey. So I thought that was really cool. Actually, you know what? Let me bring that up too. Should we start off with something positive? How about that? Let me pull that. Pull that up. Should we start off with some? We need some positivity. But yeah, I don't know how you guys are feeling, but ooh, yes, I was tired because I did the 4 hour thing last night and the 4 hour live with you guys, and then really wasn't able to fall asleep right away. Um, oops, I can't forget that. Oh, he's hearing something out there. Okay, let me go to. Did she share it, or I asked her to share it? She might not have. Let's see. I may have to go to my messages. Hold on. Archive chats. I'm trying to get Chappelle and Shawana on to tell us about the library board. I want to hear some firsthand accounts of that. Ah, okay, here we go. Wait, let's see. The flyer. Ah, darn it, it's not there. All right, that's okay. Let me look at one other. Well, actually, you know what? They have a Facebook page, I think. Let me see. Harvey Neighborhood Network. I think they have a Facebook page. I'm pretty sure because they should have that posted there. Oh yeah, that too. I forgot. Okay, cool. So we have 2 positive events. Let me see here. I fell asleep before it ended, but I caught the replay. Oh, good, Burgundy. Thank you. I won't be able to stay, but you did so well at the Harvey meeting. Be blessed. Oh, thank you. Wait, which meeting? I don't know which one you mean, but I will take that compliment anyway. So, thanks, Burgundy. So tomorrow, so first thing is we have this pre-Father's Day, pre-Juneteenth pop-up peace picnic. Wow, phew, I feel like it's a lot of peas. Harvey against gun violence. So it's Harvey Park District, I think that's their one. It's at Victory Christian International Church, Keisha McCaskill, Park District Community Healing. I can't quite read the whole thing there of that organization, but so it's tomorrow, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m., Cooper Park, 234 West 150th Street in Harvey. Free food, music giveaways. Funding provided by Live Free Illinois and the Illinois Criminal Justice Info Authority. Now that's interesting because wait, I thought this was the one that was hosted by Activist. No, I think so. Well, anyway, so it's a positive event. Just wanted to share that. Then we have here's the fashion show. Creative, fun. Don't miss out. Get some style ideas for you or someone you know. I do love the positive stuff like this. Look at these kiddos. They're so adorable. They did a great job last year. Fashion show. Support our youth. Watch as they style and walk the runway. It's free at Thornton Township High School. 15001 Broadway at door 1. Right, just right by the auditorium there. So that's tomorrow. Doors open at 12. It'll be at 12:30. It was cute. They did a great job last year, so I'm sure they'll do a good job again. It's so great. This is the kind of stuff that I want to see, whether I'm a private citizen or I am a elected official or whatever. Like, these are the kinds of things that I want to see our children have. Um, because they're going to be able to have enriching experiences. They're going to be able to develop as more well-rounded people, to appreciate art. So life isn't just like, math and science, so you can get like some engineering job and make a lot of money, right? Like we need the arts. We need music. Well, I know Burgundy knows, because she does artistic things. I have a music degree, so I studied music. I studied French. I studied voice was my main instrument. Um, but we need these things to make as humans, to enrich our lives. It's really important. Like, yes, we want our children to read and get the basics so they can function. But um, yeah, I love the idea of things like this, like the fashion show and things like this. That's what sets us apart as humans, right? Like, it's not about, we shouldn't be living to work. We should, yeah, okay, we have to do something to survive. But I think my ideal world would be more of a cooperative world where people wouldn't be slaving away. I love what Iceland did. Did you hear Iceland went, I think it was a few years ago, they went to a 4-day work week. And of course, the greedy people that own the corporations were predicting, that the country would fall apart, the economy would fall apart. But productivity is great, and people are loving their lives. So I love to see great things like this. Michelle Anderson works with CETA, and she says, please come out and support our youth. This free event will showcase our talented youth. So voila, that is that. What else? Okay, so I went over that. Let me pull up. Fox 32 Chicago. And we're gonna I want to share about the young lady who was grazed by the bullet. Let me see here. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Oh. Oh, and I didn't notice that. It says Chicago police officer was shot and killed unintentionally by a fellow officer Thursday night during a foot chase in the city's south side. Oh. That's crazy. Okay. Oh, that's not a good Doge headline. No, Doge does not need our Social Security data. Mm. Maybe, was it under politics? Was it under? I think it was just under news. Carol is killing it. Who's Carol? Where is it? Wow. I just found it before. Okay, that's right. Let me, you know what? I'll put the headline in the, I think if I search for the headline. Oh, that's nice. Someone sent a nice message from Atlanta on the video that maybe it was a live, or I forget, or just the video, but from Colby's arrest yesterday. And they said, right under our nose in plain sight, Atlanta's watching and taking notes. Thank you for sharing, and be safe. I'll say thank you for sharing and caring. That's great, Puppy, go outside. Go. Go bark outside. Thank you. I know he's just doing his job. Where was it, you guys? I'm sorry. No, not the one about the doll. There was a big fire in Riverdale too. Oh, here we go. Cook County shooting, girl 11. Yeah, I'm surprised that that's not at the. Oh, here, maybe view more. See, I thought that was still the top, one of the top headlines. Oops. Girl, I meant girl. Aha, there we go. There we go. Family of Cook County. Sorry, let me disregard. Okay. He's so funny, Cook. Family of Cook County girl 11 shot in head while leaving school speaks out. So let's listen. Oh, did they actually do an article? They did. Okay. But that's right. We'll just watch the video. If it will load.
Cook County officials and community members are calling for an end to gun violence after an 11-year-old.
Now, this is crazy. It's not, I guess, okay, thank you, county. It's not about just a blanket end for gun violence. It's because we have a horribly dysfunctional city government where the police don't do their job. They're just the personal security and stormtroopers for this mayor. So, I mean, that's why these things happen. I mean, it's not. Anyway, I want to try to get to more specific reasons and specific solutions to these problems. Like, I'm not saying that, we can't have reasonable gun laws and things like that. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying, like in Harvey's case, like there's a very specific reason why something like this would happen, because the police don't care. They're not really helping to keep our community safe.
Girl was shot and is currently fighting for her life. Last Wednesday, Willow James was shot in the head after leaving school.
I would like justice for my baby. Did not deserve this. She was looking forward to her summer.
March this Saturday in Harvey.
Okay. Sorry, did it play okay, or was it kind of freezing up a lot? I closed the tab. My laptop, I think I need a new laptop at some point. I'm waiting.
Two Chinese nationals are facing charges for allegedly smuggling a dangerous fungus.
No. We didn't want that story.
Potential.
Okay, how was that? Now can you guys? Yeah, it looks like it's stabilized. Okay, yeah, sorry about that. So anyway, that was sad. That is a story that we are following. That happened last week, the day before Mayor Clark's interview. So we wish that family well. What the mother had told me is, or according to the mother, they have not really gotten clear communication and or any assistance from the city, which is sad. That's the kind of stuff that should be different. All right, now let's talk about Colby, Miss Colby. I'm going to share with you guys some of my videos. So we went over the arrest yesterday. If you missed that, Mayor Clark had Colby arrested. They're charging her with a felony for, I think, aggravated battery or something of a police officer. If you watch the videos, we watched it last night, I really don't think she did anything wrong. But then this morning I got up after doing the 4 hours with you guys with the live. I didn't fall asleep till late, and then I got up, headed over to Markham about 9, a little after 9, and then she didn't actually even arrive till after 10. You know what was horrible is they kept her at 26th in California. Like, we thought she was going to be kept at Markham. So it was just, this is the horrible, evil thing. These are the horrible, evil things that these dirty politicians will do to try to silence you. So I'm glad Colby's not giving up. I'm not giving up. But they're trying to pick us off one by one and get rid of anyone that asks questions or provides any sort of resistance to them, taking our money and taking our land. And so we got to keep resisting, people, right? All right, so I'm going to show you guys a little bit. I haven't even made the video yet. That's how today's been crazy. But I'll show you I forgot to do landscape mode. You guys are going to have to remind me of that. So this was this morning. This is I have not gotten much sleep face. It was. I don't know what was going on, Markham. Even one of the bailiff in the courtroom said that too. So I don't know. I don't know I don't know why there were so many people there. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. You guys got to tell me I didn't have the video on. Now you should be able to see it, right? Crook, you got to help me. You must be distracted, Crook. Usually you'll tell me. I'll just restart it. It's short anyway. Good morning, everybody. So I just arrived at Markham Courthouse. Very long line today. Let me show you. Very busy. I was told very infuriatingly Colby was supposedly held at 26 in California last night, and she's on her way here, so the hearing was pushed back from 9 to 10. So I'm going to check things out, and I'll keep everybody posted. Good morning, everybody. So that was at Markham Courthouse this morning. Let's see. Hit the like. Thanks, Wyoming. Yes, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Help me and others in Harvey and the Southland get these messages out so we can fight this corruption, so we can just at least get a basic life that we can live without getting constantly harassed, and ideally return Harvey to it as a prosperous, beautiful town like it was in the past. That would be the goal. Let me go to my next video here. All right, so then we went into the courtroom, which, obviously I couldn't show that, but we had to wait till about 10:30, maybe 10:45. It was definitely delayed. So they brought Colby from 26 in California. She came into the courtroom, looked really tired, discouraged. You know what I mean? You can only imagine. My God, what a horrible experience. You haven't done anything wrong, but yet these politicians are allowed to throw felony charges at you. You have to go to jail. Like, I disagree with the whole thing of like Shouldn't we have night court or something? Like why should a judge, why should anyone, politician or not, be able just to accuse you of something and then you have to be in jail, you have to stay overnight for something that you very well may not have done? Like I don't understand. I feel like if someone is like a clear danger to society, but like any judge could have looked at that video and realized she's not a danger to society. So that I just really, really disagree with that. It violates human rights. I'm back. My daughter won the last game of bingo over it. No apologies. No, she's in bed. Diana just ended the stream for me. Oh, I saw Diana was playing bingo. By the way, she was at court as well. So thanks, Diana, for coming out. That's a good point, Crook. Actually, you should let her know if she doesn't know. Tell her I'll message Diana. Tell her I'm on. I told her she was going to be. Yep, you were right. They took her 26th in California. Just we don't need that crap. So anyway, I hate that people being mistreated. So the judge, basically the lawyer was there. The judge just said, okay, I see. Yeah, there's reasonable, I forget the term, not reasonable doubt, but something, so basically, oh, right. Yes. No, you're right. Correct. Allowing, the next hearing will be June 23rd at 9:30, same place, Markham Courthouse. So, I think that's like a preliminary hearing or something. So, they're allowing the charges to proceed, but she was free. Now, of course, we had to hang around and wait a few hours for her. But right after we got out of the courthouse, what there was this. Well, this was the guy from Channel 7.
Colby will be returning to the courthouse.
These are, Colby's supporters, and then the lawyer.
On June 23rd at 9 a.m. So she's got plenty of supporters here, which is great.
My name is Dan Olsway, Chad's attorney. I do have a statement I'd like to read on her behalf. My client, Colby Chapman, was arrested last night by Mayor Christopher Clark's administration for the 4th time since October and was charged with 1 count of felony aggravated battery on a police officer. 2 days ago, the Cook County State's attorney found it appropriate to job the most recent case that was filed against Ms. Chapman. Yesterday's arrest.
Hey TC, how are you? Thanks for joining us. No, Jed was not there. I don't think anybody that I recognize anyway from INA or his team were there. That's disgusting that they will come where he would. That's disgusting that they will come where he would have to experience that for himself. Oh, you mean you're trying to say that like the mayor should experience the jail overnight thing? Because like Mayor Clark should be the one. Like, do you see how I don't care what party, race, age, location. No one should be allowed to weaponize the police, and the police are just basically people that are sanctioned by the state or some sort of government, right? And that they have, they're allowed to use force to force people. They have guns, they have weapons. They're allowed to use force to force people to do things against their will. And so, I mean, that's why we really need police reform, and to cut back on our military. Like, even our local police have become so militarized. It's really horrible. That's disgusting. That day, I get it. Okay, that day will come where he would have to experience that for himself. I'm assuming you probably mean Mayor Clark. Yeah. But isn't that crazy that they can, like I said, these leaders can weaponize the police like this and just throw an accusation, throw a felony charge, and then she has to be in jail Like, she has to drive all the way to 26th in California to be put in jail overnight just because of the charge. It's like, well, why don't we get to throw bogus charges at Mayor Clark? You know what I mean? I mean, we're not trying to do that, right? We're trying to be ethical about things, but it's just I really, that really irks me. It's like, you shouldn't be able to do that, because then anybody can just say anything about anybody. I could call up Crook and say, or call up the police and say, hey, go arrest Crook because I accuse him of, whatever, breaking, he broke into a store or something. Oh, and that's a felony. So, he has to get held overnight. And then the person has to wait through the whole process, like to go before a judge or a jury and then get proved innocent or something. It's just, Wyoming asks, did you see the letter that the police union put out? No, no, I didn't see that. But please feel free to share. That whole force needs to be disbanded. I agree. Bring in the state. Yes. Bring in the state or county. I agree. And I asked the sheriff. There is one person I'm talking to with the Cook County State's attorney now. I'm hoping they will help. Politicians aren't ethical. Yes, getting locked up. Yeah.
Coming on the very day Ms. Colby Chapman announced her candidacy for mayor is no coincidence. It is a blatant and deeply troubling act of political retaliation. This is not justice. This is political persecution. Mayor Clark has a history of using...
See Diana. She always has her cool frames on there. She is right behind the lawyer.
Using the powers of his office to squash dissent and punish those who challenge him. His administration has been sued for abusive and questionable licensing schemes on small businesses, as well as overbilling water charges to Harvey's churches and residents. His administration has used eminent domain to force residents from their homes for the benefit of others. And now, rather than have a candidate run who opposes these senseless practices, my client once again faces the misuse of the justice system in an attempt to smear and silence her. Ms. Chapman is not running for mayor out of ambition. She is running because the people of Harvey deserve better. She's running to put an end to the corruption, retaliation, and unchecked abuse that have harmed residents, displaced families, and undermine the integrity of local government. Mayor Clark seems to believe he can rule without oversight or accountability. That he can target with impunity while treating the city like his personal kingdom. The charge is baseless, just like the last 3 cases, and I'm confident that it will once again be dismissed. Ms. Chapman intends to vigorously defend against...
Yeah, Ansel Glink that's the attorneys for the city of Harvey. Remember, they and the Speaker of the House in Illinois, Chris Welch, that is the firm he works for. Chris Welch and Ansel Glink were very, very, very large, very generous donors to Christopher Clark's 2023 campaign. And Wyoming says, I think I'm getting Flint mixed up with Harvey. It's weird how the cities are having the same issues. Oh, right. Yes, exactly. That's why I want to get these Harvey stories and these Southland stories out, because I think you can see the commonality. Like, literally people all over the world are going through the same issues. Like, people that are, we protest the genocide in Gaza and everything. Well, it's the same thing there. It's just on a larger scale, right? You have Israel that is getting support from other countries and weapons and money. And they are literally coming out with it and saying that they basically consider the Palestinians as less than human, and they bomb and kill children and destroy hospitals and schools. And, it's just, they're abusing their power. So, I mean, it really, you see the commonalities, right? I mean, and it's been throughout history like that. So it's always a matter of trying to stand up for what's right. Maybe Odelson can help you guys like they did. I reached out. This is the sad thing. Their firm said that they were too busy. I think these lawyers, they don't do it. unless they know they can get money. So yeah, no, Odelson and his firm, you can all know that. I reached out, I think someone else did too, and they definitely said, nope. Nope. I think the only reason that they helped with Dalton is because they knew that they were getting promised to get the full-time contract as legal counsel for the village after the election. So, and I mean, I understand, lawyers don't want to work for free, but it's disappointing because unfortunately a lot of these same lawyers and law firms like Ansel Glink, they're the ones that go along with all this corruption and they don't say anything. So really they violate their oath, to uphold the law all the time. Oh my God, it's like deja vu. Right, exactly. So yeah, I could see how you would get that confused. But if you're not familiar now, this was the city's, or this was the fourth time that Clark has falsely arrested Colby.
These unfounded charges and hold this administration accountable for its repeated misuse of power. The people of Harvey are watching, as you can see behind me, and they deserve better. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, we do.
Mom, just on a personal note,
yes, I would feel that it's a total abuse of power for the 3 police officers who snatched her about the chair. So if that will happen to an elected official, imagine if it happens.
And if you're not sure who that lady is, that is Colby's mother speaking.
You just walk me down the street. So the abuse of power is a bit much.
can you tell us your name, say it and spell it?
Yes, my name is Deronda Powell, Ronda, last name Powell, Powell.
And this is Colby's mother. Right.
Yes.
Pastor, would you like to say something?
I would like to just state for the record that it is very imperative that we come together as a community, as we are doing right now, to combat all of the different things that Mayor Clark is actually doing within the city of Harvey. It's a continual retaliatory governance. He continued to retaliate against anyone that is not following his guidelines and his way of playing. So we are definitely looking for justice to be served here, and also ensuring that we are in full support of Alderwoman Colby Chapman.
Daniel, can you, the other 3 charges, I think they're all misdemeanors, correct? Can you step?
And that was a local pastor, that is Pastor Jonathan Johnson. I've been deeply disappointed by many Harvey pastors. I understand their fear of retaliation from the city. You know, they can try to shut you down very easily, but we have not gotten the pastors to stand up for justice as I would have hoped. There are some. The pastor of the Methodist Church on 155th, and then Pastor Jonathan Johnson. I'm sure there are a few others, but overall, most of them, they're silent. I'm like, what happened to the tradition of, pastors leading the way for justice? It's been disappointing.
The other 3 charges were all misdemeanors.
They were, yes.
And then they were all dropped.
Yes, that is true.
Wasn't this one originally charged as a misdemeanor, dropped?
This charge, apparently this charge was in the works for at least a month already, because it was reported on Channel 7, I think, that there were 3 charges that were going to be filed against her. It was only 2, though, that were ultimately filed, the 2 misdemeanors. This charge, it's a felony, aggravated battery, and this charge I came to out of nowhere and to her surprise. Although we should have seen it coming based on the report that was filed.
You've seen the video, others have seen the video that was posted. I mean, what do you think that even amounted to? What would have happened there?
It did not amount to anything close to aggravated battery. So, the state's attorney will have.
Hey, Diana. Oh my God, I am. Yes. Another crazy day. So busy.
To consider, take a look at the evidence. Of course, they just found out about the case today as it was brought to their attention. And hopefully after they take a look at the evidence, they'll realize that there is no evidence to go forward. And just like the other 3 cases, hopefully this case will be dismissed as well.
She's not backing down.
Oh, she's not. No way. And she did announce her candidacy for mayor in 2027 yesterday. So you see there's
People have complained about Harvey, as they have Dalton for years. What makes her think that she could be the one to change anything down there?
Well, I wish she was standing here right now. Unfortunately, she's not going to be out of. She won't be released for a good hour, half to 2 hours. You know, Colby has a vision of. Well, I'll let you tell. I'll let her mom tell you.
Well, one thing I would like to start with is that there are no dumb questions. If the mayor of Harvey seems to think every time she asks a question, it's a problem, and no one is above reproach. So I don't know who it is that, like, he works for the residents, and the residents don't have a voice or a say or anything in Harvey. So change starts with Colby Chapman. She is the change that Harvey needs, and we all know that. We see that. She has hosted, just in the short period of time that she's been there, she has an office to service the whole community, not just the second ward. We've had over 57 events in less than 2 years. We have an expungement program that's coming. Last time we had over 300 people, even people from out of town. So when I tell you, she walks and talks her life of helping others and stomps the ground. We've been door to door with all the residents. So I know that she is a great change for Harvey. I don't know anybody else who could do it at this point.
What makes you think that she could be the one to win and change things? You can just stand up.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, honestly, I just think it's her spirit. It's who she has grown up to be. This is not her first time doing this. She's gone as far as all the way to Africa and took school supplies to kids there. So this has been her life throughout her life. So this is who she is. You know, it's Harvey Grady for it. Harvey's got to want to change. That's all it is. And it starts with a vote, and the vote is free.
That's correct.
Yes, that's it.
It would seem that the Kellogg administration might be trying to shut her down by arresting her time and time again.
This is the Clark administration.
I'm sorry.
Yes, the Clark administration. Yes, they are. They've been to my home several times. The harassment is crazy. To have the police parked in front of my house overnight for 2 days. Isn't there something else they could be doing in the city of Harvey?
You don't think this is going to do anything to quell her spirit or her decision to speak up and speak her mind?
Not at all.
If
Not
anything,
at all.
it's making her stronger.
It's going to make, exactly. You know, God sets the warriors up for the battle. He's preparing her. She's ready.
And by the way, not only did they go after Colby, Mayor Clark's administration,
I also got arrested.
but she was arrested.
Yes.
Her mother was arrested
And
as well.
I was accused of resisting arrest and injury to a police officer. Well, how do you do that when you grab me by the, I didn't even see the police coming up on me. They grabbed me from the back of my jacket and instantly threw handcuffs on me. Took me to jail, didn't read me my Miranda rights. I couldn't make a phone call. I got nothing at jail. All they wanted was, I guess, my fingerprints in the mugshot. That's what they got.
Was that on the 28th as well?
That was at Harvey, yes, at City Hall.
And honestly, we believe that these are just tactics of silencing her to make her not actually pursue her efforts of becoming mayor. Not only that, we know for sure he's retaliatory in nature, like he's retaliating against the churches, the water bill hikes. I filed a federal lawsuit against them right now in the city of Harvey for the water bill hikes and the estimated water bills. And we know that retaliation is coming. He has 2 more years to play this game. So we're expecting more things out of Mayor Clark, but we are prepared. We're prepared.
Pastor, your name, please.
Pastor Dr. Jonathan Johnson, JOHN, JOHNSON.
What church you in?
Holy Bible Missionary Baptist Church.
Appreciate it. Are you all going to be hanging around until she gets out?
Definitely. Yes,
Are
definitely.
you expecting her to come out outside?
She'll come out right here. Yes. And she'll be more, if you guys are around, wait, she'll be more than, oh yes.
Definitely.
Colby has plenty to say.
Yes.
And she wishes she could have come out right now. She will have plenty to say.
All right. Next. So then we waited. Oh Lord, what wasn't that at least 2 hours, Diana? Probably. It was a while. And I was, I really should have shared something because I wanted people to also know about, you know, that he called me a pedophile and everything and all that stuff that I'm trying to fight. But it was just, I was really tired, you know, because there's just so much going on.
Congratulations! Yes! She is out. She made it. We're gonna follow her. Make sure she's okay. This is great.
And I got some grapes.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, she can speak to the reporter. Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Mom, for bringing me grapes today.
That military training.
It took them long enough. Wow. That was such an unnecessarily long process.
Wait. Diana, you said that was fast? Really? Wow. So it usually takes longer? I mean, I don't know. Unfortunately, I've never experienced that. Oh, yeah. And you Wyoming mentioned that she, you know, she's like, oops, that I was thinking Flint, but I said, you know, all these struggles like around the world, you know, they're very similar. A lot of it is abuse of power because there's no checks and balances, no accountability.
Yeah, I just get on.
There she is. She gave everyone a hug.
So was it 2 hours a day? Was it 2 hours?
That was a long.
This side.
Let's get out.
You know, thank you again to everyone who came out. I know Vivian was there. Miss Mary was there from Dalton.
Yay! I agree. I like that.
Got it.
Unity. Yay! Look at guys.
Out of jail.
Well, you know what? It's a glorious Friday. Unfortunately, my advocacy for my residents caused me to spend a night, not only just spend a night at the Harvey Police Department. At 2 a.m. I was transported to the Cook County 26 in California division.
6 to 8 hours?
I was chained down because that's the protocol. And from there, I haven't eaten anything. Naturally, just because just out of worry, just trying to figure all these things out.
Go your way, you know.
And I was transported here.
Our justice system
and I will
is horrible.
say, you know, the bailiffs that handled me, they even put me in a separate car, the Cook County Sheriff's Department, to transport me over as an official.
You're right.
I do appreciate that.
Colby had just
the conditions, being in an environment as
she had just had hip surgery, which
this
makes it
whole
even worse.
thing is so egregious and heinous
That they were, you know,
I was advocating for a resident's
trying to
home
hurry
being
her
sold
up
for $2,000
to get out.
If anybody was in my position, sitting in the second ward seat on Monday, April the 28th, and they saw their mother being grabbed on in a very abrasive manner, they too would be startled. And that's what I was. Detective Mangania of the Harvey Police Department
trustee
has
and a
caused me
market
great
trustee.
turmoil.
That's correct.
I've been in this seat since May 8th of 2023, and I've been advocating for the past 14 or 700 plus or so days since then. And my advocacy is disrupting the issues in the city of Harvey. And more importantly, bringing awareness so that our residents can advocate and move forward in the correct direction as we move forward in seeking new leadership. You know, I mentioned to you all the other day, I am running for City of Harvey's mayor in 2027.
Yes. Colby. Yes.
Colby. In your mind that the charges come on the same day that you announced your run?
I think it's quite befitting to be vindicated just the day before. And one could only imagine, why did it take so long, right? This incident happened Monday, April the 28th. We then went to court. Vindication was served on Tuesday. What was yesterday's day, guys? June 4th?
When they dropped the charges,
right.
Misdemeanor charges.
Absolutely. And here we are today, just like you said, just 24 hours later. And this whole piece of trying to make me look a particular way in the media, to slander my name. People that know me know my character. That's why folks are standing here today. I have a second ward pastor, I have my mother, I have the congregation here, I have community leaders, I have people even from other communities here. Nobody stands at the helm of injustices because they think that, oh, we want to just stand on the opposite side to go against the community or go against the administration. Individuals are standing here because they understand the issues that are happening. They see what's going on in Harvey, and they're filled with an altruistic measure or the care and concern for the social welfare of others to do something about it. For the past 24 hours, I've been sitting in jail. Meanwhile, we have an 11-year-old girl fighting for her life at Comer Hospital. Meanwhile, we have a woman whose foot was mauled off by 2 Rottweilers, and this happened in the city of Harvey. So if taxpayers' dollars are being spent on frivolous agendas such as trying to identify issues with the second ward alderwoman, Colby Chapman, for speaking out candidly, in which I always will. This will not stop me from speaking out candidly about the issues that are affecting our residents. Why is this even an issue for me to speak out? You know, the residents of the second ward voted me in this seat so that I can make a change. They voted me in this seat to speak out on issues that we see. There's no transparency, there's no accountability, and to think that they want to raise all these issues against me simply for talking is absolutely deplorable.
Any doubt in your mind that this is all politically motivated?
There's no doubt at all. This in this current moment is total political retaliation. Earlier in the segment, I mentioned about Detective Mangayan. It was January 6th. I received a death threat. They said they were going to burn our house down. This is following me standing out in the 6th ward, advocating for Rudolph Williams, a 78-year-old man who was boarded up in his home. Right? Following that housing insecurity, we have Miss Pooltinkle here. 17 families across the 153rd block of Myrtle. They're lost their home, and soon they'll be moving in July. Back in my ward, Dr. Allen on 155th in Myrtle, same similar situation. I had a woman reach out to me the other day from the 4th ward.
Yeah, TC,
explaining
right?
a housing issue.
We gotta
all
fight
of these
back.
housing insecurities. We don't have a pharmacy in the city of Harvey. We don't have a grocery store in the city of Harvey. What are we doing for the marginalized community?
Yeah, I
what
forgot.
do we say to the families
I totally
who
forgot,
live
Diana.
behind or on Center Street who lost their home due to a house fire, yet the fire department sits right across the street from that row of houses, right? I'm still in contact with that family today, helping and supporting, doing the best that I can.
That one really bothers me. Maybe I'll go over that in one of my lives with you guys. So there's some of the oldest housing in Harvey on Center, right by the YMCA. There's a few townhomes that were built, and it's like I said, they're really cool because they're old townhomes, you know, like from, I don't know, late 1890s or 1910s or whatever. They're, like I said, they're older. So last year, I think it was in October, there was another one of our mysterious fires, and it started in the end townhome, which was empty, unsecured, and neighbors said that, you know, squatters would come in and out. It's a city-owned property, and we have not been given a report. I asked for one. You know, we haven't told. We haven't been told why or how that fire started, but that, since they were all connected, it spread, and so all those people were homeless, and the city of Harvey did nothing. And then I remember, because I asked the fire chief about it too, and they were like, "Oh no, the structure's too dangerous. You know, we couldn't get in there to investigate or something." I'm like, "What? Every fire should be thoroughly investigated. Like, we have a lot of fires. It's just super shady."
to just support that family. But all these instances are housing insecurity instances, and it's just not fair that because there is a locked quorum with Wards 1, Shirley Drewinski, Wards 3, Talani Smith, Ward 5, Dominique Randall L., and Ward 6, Tyrone Rogers, are locking the board down. Why don't they have any questions? How are they representing their residents? No, there are no dumb questions in the world. As a matter of fact, right now, we're just answering questions.
Let me throw another question at you. What do you think is going to happen Monday night?
I'm asking each and every individual to come to the city council meeting, raise your concerns, right? This moment right now can't just stop today, right? It must go on for Monday, June 29th, Monday, June 23rd, and every second and fourth Monday of the month, beginning at 6 p.m. to ask questions about our finances, at 7 p.m. so we can have the city council meeting. But everyone needs to be in attendance, and ABC, I hope you'll be there, because we certainly need to digitally storytell the issues that are plaguing Harvey.
What's your message to the mayor?
Why can't we just come together as leaders, I as the second ward leader, him as the mayor, and determine a way to edify and provide a holistic approach of collaborative effort so we can move the agenda for the city of Harvey forward? Simply put, right? I can, because I am a leader, sit at the table with somebody who has strong disbelief in me and still rally our efforts.
Yeah, the beauty supply store is supposed to be closing.
Leaders do. Yep. So I'm focusing on the windshield and not the rear view. And in 2027, I will be the next mayor of the city of Harvey.
Amen.
Yes.
And yeah, so she announced she wants to run for mayor yesterday as well. TC, I agree. They're letting the houses burn down because they want the land. I think it's definitely has to be a part of it. I think it's definitely a land grab. And Wyoming says that's horrible. Yeah. And it's not. This is not an isolated phenomenon. Like I said, this happens literally all over the world. People want something you have because they're greedy, and there are no checks and balances. There's no accountability. There's nothing holding them back, right? They kill, they set fires, they just steal, they take, you know what I mean? Like, this is not cool. So yeah, 154th looks so horrible now. It does, yeah. A couple of years ago, they had that beauty supply store for sale. It was some crazy price. Oh yeah, because I think the guy that owns it now is a newer owner, but
Which way are you going?
Straight ahead. There go the car.
anyway. So then we all
Yeah.
walked down.
303.
Pause.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that was. So that was good. I'm impressed that Colby was able to, to even say that much after what must have been a crazy night. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Oh, you guys can see my. This is a post that I did earlier. Wait, hold on. It's a cute post I did earlier today. So in my front yard a few years ago, I planted some apple trees. So look at my Granny Smith apples are growing. And then, yeah, and it's not this store, but it's like right in the other corner is the store that, the beauty supply store on 154th that Diana was mentioning. Look, happy Pride Month. There's my pride flag. There's my the little fruit. I said, I think that my post on Facebook said something like, all our efforts are truly bearing fruit. Ha ha ha. I was trying to be punny. But I thought it was a cute picture because it's like, I like to beautify my home, beautify my yard as a part of, and if everybody does their part and we all help each other instead of trying to steal, having out of towners, big rich companies that try to steal our land, steal our houses, they work with these politicians to do that. Let's all help each other. and that's how we improve the city. So I'm super proud of my front yard. I've worked on over the past few years, planting a whole bunch of more plants and things. And then, you're seeing the rainbow flag behind it. So now, last thing is I wanted to share. Oopsies. Wait, hold on. Did this work? Give me 1 second, guys. Oh, it did. Okay, it's saved. Just hopefully it uploaded it. It might take a minute. Okay, yeah. It'll take a minute. But basically, TCS, what are they planning to do at Dixie Square? This was a few years ago when I was still on the Planning and Zoning Committee. Not that the mayor ever listened to me, but you know how they put you on committees or whatever, advisory boards. It was unpaid. It was just purely advisory, but they do that to give themselves rubber stamps to pacify people and to make you feel like you're doing something, but he never really listened to me at all. And then that's why he kicked me off the Planning and Zoning Commission, because he didn't like that I had an independent mind and was asking questions. Is Harvey having to pay fines or penalties for not filing financials to the state? Yes, Wyoming, I believe so. And of course, Clark and the city leaders will not talk about that. They refuse. All right, sorry, hold on 1 second. Oh my God, you guys, you didn't tell me. I didn't add my photos to the stage, I don't think, did I? You have to tell me. Sometimes I miss these things. These are the photos I was talking about. So here's my Granny Smith apple tree. And this is right across from this is the beauty supply store we're talking about. Some years ago, this was a Clark station. This was a really nice laundromat. And then what's the beauty supply now is a plumbing store. And then there was a very nice Ford car dealership right there. Oops. The last 3 years, not financials. Yeah, they're late. And remember, the state audits are not forensic audits. They are not to the same standard of thoroughness. So, because to me, I consider the state audits that are yearly required is very basic. Like I said, they don't really go in depth. But Harvey's a few years behind even on those. So it just makes you think well, what are they hiding? Kwame Raoul is protecting these corrupt politicians. I mean, it certainly feels like it, right? Mr. Raoul, if you're watching, please help us. We really feel like you're ignoring us. Do you feel Judge Welcome and Harvey? I don't know him. I don't know how many people really know him very well. We need to get a Mayor Clark Chia out. Okay. But yeah, I mean, I know a lot of us were confused because we were getting to know at least maybe 1 or 2 people on Jed's team. It seemed like he was interested in Harvey, but then he posted a video a few months ago and said, I met with the mayor. He's a good guy. He's very reasonable. There's no injustice in Harvey that we see. So where should I go next? And I think he went up to Atlanta and Flint, I want to say, after that. And just recently, he came back to Harvey. So that was kind of confusing because you're like, well, wait, we thought you said that Clark was a good guy and you didn't see any injustice here. So why are you here? And I shared some things last night that he said that were very negative, I feel, about Colby. I don't know. His behavior was not appropriate, I don't feel, yesterday. But yeah, that's me with my apple tree and then my pride flag in the background. Yay! So happy Pride Month, people. Let's remember that even on the tough days that our efforts are bearing fruit. Whoever's setting these fires needs to be charged with arson. Right. Well, that's the thing. That's my, because it's not hard to find evidence like in the past that like politicians would hire people to start the fires. Okay, like they were often linked to politicians, these fires. But regardless, even if it wasn't a city official or a politician, whoever's starting the fire, like we should know. We should absolutely know that. June is also Portuguese Heritage Month. Oh, okay, interesting. Yeah, somebody's. I think it's also like Men's Mental Health Month or something. All right. Sorry. Let me pull this up. I need to go back. Go back. Come on, man. Did you load yet? Let's hope it loaded. Oh man, these grapes aren't as sweet as I thought they were going to be. So on the April 28th meeting, city council meeting, not only was Colby arrested, but I don't want people to forget that Mayor Clark insinuated that I, am a child molester. Okay, not only to try to make it so that I would not, be able to get like a teaching job or, to try to negatively affect my real estate job, to try to, to ruin my reputation so I couldn't have any job, ruin my reputation with the Historical Society or the community activism work covering Southland politics. So it's very, very cruel, malicious. He's a very vindictive, cruel, horrible person. That the person starting them is on Harvey payroll, right? Well, especially when we don't get any reports about the fires, it definitely makes you think, like, what the heck is going on? But so like I said, that same meeting on April 28th, those accusations were made. Those are serious accusations. Not only that, but someone reminded me, when you call someone or spread these, rumors or allegations. By the way, it's nothing new. They've been doing this for years to try to discredit me because I ask questions and I speak out against corruption. I just want to see people treated right. That's all. But when you call someone a child abuser or a child molester or whatever have you, pedophile, different names for it, but it's all the same thing, right? Sorry, when there is no transparency, it causes people to fill in the blanks. Right. Like, how can we not think that there's corrupt stuff happening because they're hiding so much? But yeah, when you accuse someone of something like that, someone pointed out to me, they're like, yeah, in a lot of communities like that, well, that's literally putting a target on my back, inviting people to come at me to try to hurt me, kill me, kill my job prospects, scare clients away. But I mean, literally, like I could be murdered because some people are not logical. They'll just be like, oh, well, look, he said it and he's a person of authority and he's a lawyer. So if he said that this guy abused children when he was a teacher, it must be true. You know what I mean? Sometimes people will, especially in certain, like, I am in a mostly Black and Latino community. There are still a lot of conservative people that already tend to think that gays are wacko and that we're not right or that we're of the devil or something. So it's like Clark knows that and he's taking advantage of that. So I wanted to share that and just say that is not okay. That is not okay. He molested a child. Why did the school district or parents press charges? He just trying to deflect attention away from the corruption. Exactly. Right. Yeah. Because he talks about like, oh, there was an investigation and this, that. I'm like, no, no. Like, no, it's nothing. There's nothing there that happened. But they want to try to make it seem like there was. That is absolutely heinous for an elected leader to do. Call some pedophile. I hope you make a complaint. I will. I mean, I'm looking for a defamation lawyer, but absolutely. Human rights. I'm just putting a reminder because I'm actually going to complain to. I think Illinois has like the Human Rights Commission or something. Human Rights Commission complaints. And then I am looking for a defamation lawyer as well. If anybody knows a good defamation lawyer. I think I'm considered conservative. I don't think you're back. Oh, thanks, Wyoming. Thank you. Yeah, and I don't mean, I didn't mean that like in an insulting way. I just meant that like, a lot of Black and Latino families, like they, even if they don't necessarily go to church, they grew up like a lot of people, just being told that it's like it's a man and a woman, that's it, and anything else, it's like, especially if you like, I was from a very conservative religious background, very evangelical, so that's what we were taught, and it was like, you better get exercise, you got to get special prayer, laying on hands, speaking in tongues, everything to get the gay out of you, because that is a sin, you are a sinner, you are inviting demons, and some people, they take this stuff very seriously. That's why I'm like, you can't just throw stuff out like that, because there are people that will could come up and try to stab me or shoot me or something, we know you didn't do it, you'd be in jail if you did. Yeah, no, I mean, it's true in that, like, I was never charged or investigated, or like, I didn't do anything, but yeah, I mean, he doesn't care. Clark doesn't care. So this was that same meeting. We're not even getting to the pedophilia stuff yet. Just listen to how he treated me when I went to make my public comment. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't include the whole video. I started my public comment, and he did what he never does, and he tells us we cannot do. He says, I won't answer questions. You just make your comment and you're done. This is not a question and answer time. So he stops because I have some salary information. But his alderman did. Oh yeah, right. Yeah, his people can interject, they can stop, they can do whatever they want. But no one that disagrees with him can do that. All the rest of us, we have to stay silent all the time, or get thrown out or ticketed or arrested. But anyway, so I had said, hey, you're making 6 figures and you can't even do, I think on the agenda that night, it was a horrible, horrible agenda. They voted to pay a $10,000 fee to ADT because over the years, this is Clark's 6th year in office, they lost track of the bill. ADT, like the security company, ADT. So now we have to pay $10,000. They voted on that in that meeting because Harvey lost track of the bill. How can you you're a lawyer and you say, you call people pedophiles, you have them arrested if they disagree or they ask questions, but then you can't pay, you lost track of and we have to pay a $10,000 penalty? Like, what in the... So he stops me and gets angry about, like, no, that's not really my salary. And just listen to how he talks so you can see a little bit of how Clark mistreats people.
But I would make $150,000 for as a mayor. If you will come in here and start castigating and start throwing around allegations, we'll have my own as well. So I would suggest...
Okay, so I apologize. Sometimes the audio is a little hard to understand, but he basically said, I don't make $150,000. If you pay attention, he threatens me. He threatens me several times. He threatens basically anyone that disagrees with him. So he said, if you come in here and start throwing around allegations, I have some as well. Like I said, this is before he accused me, of abusing children. I have some as well. Also, he says that we come with allegations, that I come with allegations, okay? Sorry, hold on. That's like Dalton owing AT&T $500,000. Yes. Who's a dumb lawyer defaming people on video? Yes. You know we can't make this stuff up. But during the comments, he keeps saying it's like he's angry because he says, "Well, you come with the allegations, you come with the smoke. I'm gonna come with the smoke too." But the thing is, we have proof for most of this stuff. Now the problem, we may not have the details because he, they fight FOIAs. We have FOIA laws. They try to hide as much as we can. So no, I wish I had more information, but that's why they don't want to give the information, because if they gave us the receipts, and we'd see all the, the details of all the bad stuff that they're doing. But we know enough that we know that they're up to no good. But we're not coming with crazy allegations that are defamatory or anything. But isn't it interesting that that's how a narcissist like Clark, that's how he interprets it. So he's trying to say, I'm the victim, everybody. You're just coming and accusing me of all these things I didn't do. Well, I have allegations too. Oh, so that's equivalent? So we want to criticize how you're running the city, how it's undemocratic, you're a tyrant, and you're just not doing a good job. The city looks like crap, and we don't know where any of the money is being spent. But then you want to call me a pedophile? Because you think that that's your way of getting back at me, and then you're saying that those things are like equivalent? No.
The true salary is reported by the IMR.
I don't care what you think it is. Bottom line is, I just told you. And this counsel here knows that as well.
So he said, I was telling him the salary figures were from, they were from a third party source. We have it on paper. It's not speculation. They're not allegations. And he said, you do hear, I don't care. He doesn't care. He said, I just told you. He talks down to me very well.
Those are the receipts, Mayor. IMR doesn't
I have the floor. I work another job, and I work for a living.
So that was Alderman Tracy Key, who has spoken up, for me and for others. It's pretty much just him and Colby. They're the only ones that ever try to speak up to help. But as you can hear, the mayor was super rude and cut him off again. I had the floor. And he says, I work for a living. Oh, do you? Oh, that's right. You make 6 figures as mayor of Harvey. Who knows what else he's paying himself that we don't know about. He was making almost $100,000, maybe even more, for Calumet City for Thaddeus Jones, his buddy Thaddeus Jones, as the FOIA officer and the ethics officer. How much of a joke is that? And then who knows how much other money he's getting.
Okay, and as you know, and so do you, Mr. Irvin, that this is a part-time job, which allows me to be able to do so, even though I spend it full-time.
Oh, and then Mayor, so wow, you're making 6 figures at a part-time job. Damn, man, that's a pretty good deal, especially when you always complain that we don't have money for anything, Mayor Clark.
Here in the city. Continue the clock, please. Point of order. Chair recognizes the fourth order. Oh, Mayor, I'm sorry, but
did I miss it? Wait, hold on, before I get...
This is just getting...
There was something else that let me go back to the beginning, because I thought I missed something.
Now, I do work for a living. Maybe it's something you're not familiar with. But I don't make $150,000.
Oh, that's what I wanted to... Yeah, because I didn't have time. I just worked on this, so I didn't have time to prepare the subtitles, but for the whole video. But he said, now I work for a living. That's something that you might not be familiar with. So, okay, so you're calling me like what? Like I'm just lazy or whatever? Like what in the... This is normal conversation for Christopher Clark. This is how he talks to people normally. This is not anything out of the ordinary. Mayor shouldn't have the floor if it's your time to speak. Right. Yes, he took my time to speak. And then when the alderman wants to say, he's trying to be like, Mayor, you need to chill out. Like you're out of control. And he's like, no, it's my turn to speak. My union at work operates the same way as Harvey and Dalton. Misappropriation of funds, and when we question them, they do the same as Clark. See? And I'm a big union supporter. Like I want, just in general, I'm a big democracy supporter. the people that are affected by the decisions should be making the decisions, right? That's why I like unions, the idea of workers coming together, right? Because workers run the world. The bosses do not. If workers stop working, nothing gets done. But if the unions are co-opted and then, the members are not, things just aren't run democratically, yeah, and then the union's not really going to be doing what it's intended to do. Okay, let's see. Is it normal for the mayor to hijack someone's comment to the board? Actually, this is very rare for Chris Clark. So I know, I guess that evening we just must have really gotten on his nerves. Maybe it was the salary comment. So yeah, that was very, very rare. This was after Colby was taken out. So she had been taken out earlier in the meeting. Does Harvey record these meetings also? Yes, they do. They had not, for a long time, they had not been putting them on, I think they used to upload them to Facebook or YouTube, but I believe now they have been lately. But I never trust them because it's like a lot of municipalities, if something happens in the meeting they don't like, they'll cut it out, which is totally illegal. Like you're supposed to, if you're going to document the meeting, you document the whole meeting. You can't take out. And then it's interesting because later in the video, he accuses me of that. He's like, well, I'm sure you'll see the video on Facebook, well, if Ryan chooses to, but he'll probably cut out his part or something. It's like, Clark, again, he's a textbook narcissist, right? So accusations are confessions. They will accuse you of doing what they're doing. Humans who have power usually end up corrupt, right? So that's why we always need, you always need checks on power, checks and balances. Want to bet they added them, right? That's why I always take my own video. I never trust their videos.
That's me.
And to me, the professionalism, regardless of whatever he's saying.
Brother, you don't even know the Pledge of Allegiance.
Okay, and then if you couldn't hear that, he said, brother, you don't even know the Pledge of Allegiance. And we were all like, what?
Did you just dab me and say I don't know the Pledge of Allegiance?
Did you just say I don't know the Pledge of Allegiance? Clark will do anything to distract from, he got pissed when we were talking about his salary. Don't talk about money. You cannot ask about the money. That's the last thing he wants you to do. Now, I think I got a little bit of the reaction, but watch some of his staff, who he's cruel. He's vicious to his staff. Like he's horribly abusive, but even they couldn't help but laugh because he was so ridiculous.
Go ahead and stop the time. Now, you can either take your time or not. That's up to you.
Wait a minute, what did you just say to me there? And I was just asking a question. Don't you think you out of order? You said I don't know the Pledge of Allegiance.
Look it.
You know what? I don't have to down.
Now remember, like I said, he is a tyrant, okay? He is a tyrant. So, salary is public information. Yes. Yes, although if you just FOIA the municipality or the board that you are seeking information from, they'll often try to, they can try to hide it. So you have to sometimes FOIA other entities and boards to get that. But yeah, so he tells Tracy, you need to know the Pledge of Allegiance. His staff, they're like, who normally they're afraid, you know what I mean? Like they don't want to do anything out of line during those meetings, but even they couldn't help but laugh because they're like, Clark is crazy.
Myself to belittle myself the way you're doing. What I was simply saying was, regardless of what he was saying, it was just no different than anybody else speaking positive or negative. You still just listen to it and just take it and let them voice their opinion. You didn't have to interrupt. You ain't been doing that before. And you're going to so many times, I don't know the Pledge of Allegiance. What Pledge of Allegiance are you following?
Go ahead, Mr.
Why are you?
Yeah, and then I had finished my public comment, but that was crazy. Again, I've never seen that in my life. Like the kinds of distractions that he does so that you don't talk about where the money's going is like, it's insane. So then this is at the end of the meeting. He always says mayoral comment at the end because he has to have the last word because he behaves like a toddler. Let me see. Okay. Apparently, I guess someone had accused him of sexual harassment on the job. I'm not sure the details of that. I have witnessed it myself, though. One time he made some sexually inappropriate comments, which again, right? What do narcissists do? Accusations are confessions. So he was accusing me of sexual impropriety, and it was one time in his office when I had asked him some questions, and he responded with like a story about like how he didn't want to have sex with an ugly woman. It was me, which that'd be inappropriate even just to say that in front of me, but like in his office. But also one of the employees that was there, who was a female, was there. You know, so though again, those allegations are not unfounded. I've seen that with my own eyes. So apparently he got sensitive about it, and he starts to make these comments, basically saying that, you know, I have a lot of women that work for the city. You know, we have Latinos and you know, we have that, we're so diverse, and then no way. Like he was very angry apparently about the allegation, and then he even puts his foot in his mouth again and says, like, sometimes women can even do a better job than a man. Wow, like it shows you what, like he's very chauvinistic.
I'm a man. I just believe it's just the case. Now, a lot of times there are things that women can do, and they do sometimes better.
Wow. Oh, sometimes the women do things better than men. Wow. Amen. That was, I think, Dominique Randall L., one of the aldermen or whatever. Now you notice he didn't get thrown out of the meeting or ticketed or arrested, did he? I call that, you know, that's his amen corner. If you agree with the mayor, you can say and do a lot.
Definitely not. So we have once again a female clerk, but not only do we have a female clerk, but she's also Hispanic. We have
yeah, so he couldn't possibly be sexist or discriminatory or rude or abusive because we have a female clerk and she's even Hispanic. He gets bonus points for that. Is he under federal investigation? Most likely, but you know how the FBI is. They won't. They're not gonna tell you what they're doing. They take their time. I shouldn't say most likely. I'm like 100% sure. Yes, but the FBI is just very quiet about it.
Promoting diversity all throughout this administration. A city administrator is female, my deputy city administrator is female, and department heads have several female department heads. But then somebody will sit up here and try to make the castigation of sexual harassment.
I don't know why he says someone was making the castigation of sexual harassment. Maybe did he mean allegation? That was weird. And then I'm sorry, like I said, I'm still working on the subtitles. He said I take umbrage at that, which is like I take offense. He's offended.
I take umbrage at that. I really do. Because we try to.
By the way, look at this lawyer. Now, I'd never seen this young lady there before. She picked a doozy of a meeting to come. She's from Ansel Glink, that horrible law firm. Clark doesn't even let the lawyers speak.
We possibly can to promote actually DEI, even when our federal government isn't. As far as ADT is concerned, ADT was actually from 2018, so that was prior to this administration. And it was something that.
Why isn't he getting as much attention as Tiffany? That is a good question, TC, and that is what we want to change. I think part of it was because there were people in the Democratic machine in Illinois and in Cook County that they were done with Tiffany. Okay, they had no use for her, either because they couldn't control, because they put her in place in Dalton and in the township, but either because they couldn't control her anymore, or they just, you know, had a falling out, whatever. I don't know. But I firmly believe that that's what it was. They were done with her, so they talked to the Democratic machine politicians in charge, like that's Napoleon Harris, Thaddeus Jones, Will Davis. Chris tries to like I said, his biggest donor was the Speaker of the House and his law firm Ansel Glink. So those folks wanted Tiffany out. Okay, so they They paid consultants to come in, marketing people. They would post on Facebook. They would hire media people and do all this to stir up all this rage against Tiffany, not because they wanted to get rid of the corruption. This is what people don't understand. They did not want to get rid of corruption. Napoleon Harris, Thaddeus, all those people I said, no. Look, and how do I know that? Look at their actions. Napoleon's been our state senator here in Harvey for years. What has he done to stop the corruption? He's buddies with our former mayor Kellogg, who's one of the most corrupt mayors in Illinois history. Okay. They wanted to get Tiffany out because they wanted to control the corruption and the money. Okay. So, because they were done with her. They were like, she's not what we thought she was going to be. The machine doesn't care about what's right. They just want people that they can use. You're just a piece. You're just like a chess piece. You're just a tool. They want to use you to get money, power, land, okay, resources. Oh, and then, sorry, to answer that question, though. So since Clark, as far as we can tell, the establishment, the machine, you think Jason House is going to be any better? I hope so. I hope so. You know, time will tell. We'll see. But the establishment, as far as we've seen so far, they're not willing to turn on Clark yet, okay? Because if they were, we would see Cook County doing more. We would see the state doing more. And they really don't do any sort of enforcement when we complain.
Because we ended up getting a receiver because the previous administration wasn't paying the water.
Oh, okay. And then he complains about the water fee.
So that's just something that, once again, they pulling from the orifices. That
yeah, he says we're pulling that information from our orifices. Very professional, Mayor. Sounds great. Sounds great. Sounds like you're upset, Mayor Clark, because we're speaking the truth. Sounds like we've hit a nerve. What do you guys think?
I don't know about it. But really what gets me.
Oh, here it comes. This is when you know he's going to be saying something crazy.
Are the allegations.
The allegations. What did Tiffany call them? Those allegations or something? Here it comes.
And I want to make this clear because, see, first of all, like the third said, you gonna get this later. Well, if I'm gonna get it later, you bring it. What you gonna do? Hurt my feelings until you don't want me to be mad no more? Is that what's gonna happen? Don't threaten me with a good time.
Oh. He says, don't threaten him with aggressive here, Mr. Mayor. So you're daring us to come at you, but you still don't answer questions. You still don't release financial information. So what are we supposed to do? You just want to fight with us? Is that what you're trying to do? What I don't understand. What is the goal here?
But at the end of the day, you're not going to sit up here while I'm sitting in this chair and make the allegations that you make. And Ryan Sandowski, you of all people should know better.
Oh, and now he calls out my name. Now this is where it gets really bad.
Because when you were working for Thornton High School as a French teacher, one of the children made an allegation against you and said that you were being sexually inappropriate. But you didn't like that.
And again, inappropriate of him to even talk like this from the dais. Like he's this is during a city council meeting. It's recorded and he's doing, I mean, you know what I mean? This is all public. You guys, I don't know. So it's not surprising me in that, like I said, they've spread those rumors about me for years in the community to try to discredit me, but apparently he just must have been, he must be getting really desperate, because for him to come out publicly and say it, you know, and accuse me of this is another level. I know Kellogg was corrupt, but he was much more personable. I met him a few times. Right. Yeah, I think Kellogg, yeah, he was very corrupt, but I think he had, to me, he reminded me of like a Tiffany. He could be a real charmer. I don't think Chris is the best at charming people. He does try, but it doesn't take long and you start to see like, ooh, he's lying.
And the reason why he didn't like it is because allegations go a long way. And you end up having to resign.
So you're gonna accuse me. You're gonna make public baseless accusations that I was doing something sexually inappropriate with a child because you are upset that we have evidence that you are abusing your power, that you will not, you keep blocking the release of financial information about our tax money. These things are not equal. We just want you to do your job. So you're making these accusations, Mayor Clark, is entirely despicable, inappropriate. I'm the only person that he's accused of such serious, like, sexual crimes, by the way. Now, I know he had Colby arrested several times, but he never accused her of any sexual crimes. So I take this very seriously. Oh, and then he says I ended up having to resign or something about the investigation. That is not true. What actually happened is I left the teaching job because they were investigating. So, like, in a way, he's partially right. Like, they were investigating. But I was complaining to the administration because I told them there was a small group of students that hated me because I was gay or because, I don't know, I made them work because some of the teachers would just let them do whatever. And, I wanted them to have fun, but I wanted them to learn some French while they were there. And it was most of my kids were great. It was a very small group, but they were very vocal. And they said, oh, yeah, we want to get him fired. So they were trying to make scandals up that didn't exist, but they were still trying because they wanted to get me fired. I told the administration that. And they just, they refused to help. They were treating me like I did something wrong, and like, I'm like, but I'm the one being bullied. Like, what do you mean? Like, what did I do? So this is the crap. Okay, I'll be nice and try not to use the S word that LGBT people go through. Even if you resigned, charges would have been pressed against you, right? This is the crap that LGBT people go through. Okay, so even I think I would have had support, even if, let's say, if it were a racial thing. Let's say if I had been Black and I said, hey, I have students calling me the N-word. I'm anxious. I'm nervous. I can't sleep. I don't even want to get up to come to work. Like, can you help me? I think the NAACP would be there, the Al Sharptons. Like, I think my colleagues, the administrators, I think they would have been more responsive because they would know, like, oh God, we have to respond to that, right? Or maybe if it was like a gender thing, let's say, I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe they're saying all these comments to me about my boobs, let's say, or something, if I were a woman, But because they were explicitly saying we want to get him fired, we're going to do whatever we can, to try to make up a false scandal or what I don't know. They were scheming and trying to do a whole bunch of things, and the administration wasn't doing anything. So like I said, I didn't do anything wrong. I was never disciplined or charged or anything. But the problem is that the students, to my knowledge, nothing was done to the students either. And I never got supported. And it was sad. I didn't want to have to go, but I was just like, I can't take the stress. Like, I can deal with kids that are, like F you and calling me an F word or whatever, what I mean? But I can't deal with adults that don't see it as a problem. Okay. So, like, if you have dark skin and you have kids, let's say, that are calling you the N-word every day, like I said, I feel like most likely administrators would be supporting you and saying, no, this isn't right. Let's fix it. I complained so many times and never got help. I was always told it was my fault. One of my coworkers, a teacher that I know was well-meaning, but still it was very hurtful, said something like, well, you don't have to emphasize it or talk about it so much, just as if I was, by just being gay, I was trying to convert students or something. Like, it was really, like, very disrespectful. So anyway, that's what really happened. But then Clark makes up the story.
Before the actual conclusion of the investigation. Those are allegations. You saw that. Your parents saw that. Your family members saw that. And they had experienced that with you. But you have the nerve to come up here, the unmitigated dog, to come up here and try to accuse somebody of stealing and special interest?
No. Accusing? No. Like I said, in my view, we have proof. We don't have proof of all the stealing that you've done, but just the fact that you're making you and your buddies voted to pay yourself that much money for a job that you say is part-time, that's stealing from us, you know? The fact that you would repave a street that was in good shape, but you can't resurface streets that people have to drive on every day to get to their house where the street looks like the surface of the moon, that is stealing. You are misappropriating our resources. You're putting them where you want them. And ultimately, we don't really know where a lot of the money's going. So, yeah.
Which I said before, you have no proof of anything.
Yeah, he's very angry. And unfortunately, that's not true. He can say that all he wants, but we do have proof. He just doesn't want to admit it.
You feel like if you can just say it, that people are going to believe you. So the next time you want to come up here and you want to talk about something that you believe this administration has done improperly, and you want to allude that there's a problem, why don't you think about those kids who made those allegations against you?
So here he goes again. If it wasn't bad enough, why don't you go to why are you bringing this up? And first of all, now, Mr. Clark, I know that you have a few close connections for people that work in the high school district. So I'm wondering if you got this information, which by the way is confidential. You know, I shared a certain amount about, you know, the difficult time that I had and my decision to leave and everything, but not all of this information. So how would he even have this information to attempt to blackmail me or shame me, defame me like this, possibly endangering my life? Because like I said, people think you're a child molester. Someone might walk up and try to shoot me, kill me. Clark knows this. He's a lawyer. He's not dumb. It could mean that I would have a difficult time finding a teaching job or getting real estate clients or doing my activism work or what have you. So this is malicious and deliberate spreading of false allegations about a sexual crime. This is vile. Like I said, even with Colby, as many times she's been arrested, Clark has not accused her. He hasn't accused her of sexual crimes against children. This man is deranged, and I'm very disturbed. So I do have a call to action at the end before I let you guys go, though. I don't want to take too long because I don't want to be up late like I was last night, but I do have a call to action, so it's not just all complaining. But it's crazy. He's not even done.
We'll find him and straighten that out. Because while this is what we're worried about where $10 is going, we should be worried about the welfare of children. And that was dealing with the welfare of children.
Again, it's not $10. It's millions of dollars that we don't know where it's at. And the welfare of children, why? Again, why would you even have this information? Sounds like one of your buddies at District 205 has been revealing confidential information about their staff and about what minors were saying or had done or whatever at the school. So that means you are now in trouble for spreading confidential information about minors, students, and about staff. And whoever your contacts are at District 205, they're also in trouble too. So that this is not helping you, Clark.
Township High School should have called DCFS immediately when the allegation was made.
So I wonder why DCFS wasn't called. Because, by the way, when you are a teacher, they say you're a mandated reporter. DCFS is the Department of Child and Family Services in Illinois, if you're not familiar, but you're a mandated reporter. So if you even have a little suspicion of abuse, we're supposed to call, like, even if we're not sure, just because the law in Illinois obligates us. So I have nothing in my file, about doing anything improper with children or students. I was never contacted by DCFS. And by the way, anybody can call and report. Just because you get reported, that doesn't mean that you did anything wrong either, but that never even happened. What in the hell? Like, where do you get off talking like this? This man, empowered by the state and county authorities who do nothing, he thinks that he can just totally devastate people's lives, even lead to my physical harm or death by throwing out these child abuse allegations. This is extremely serious.
But you didn't, because people didn't care about children.
No, because I didn't do anything wrong. And how dare you talk about children and about me and my teaching career and everything that I have given to not only Harvey, but all the children that I taught over the years, teaching French and English. And maybe I'll go back to teaching. It's like, how dare you come for that? And I go above and beyond to try to do the right thing. Am I perfect? No. But this is totally out of line, Clark.
Then you go on to another school and he follows you there. So now you're selling real estate.
I went on to teach. I did eventually teach at another school. It followed me. Nothing followed me. Again, what the hell are you talking about, Clark? What in the hell are you talking? You are unhinged, and you are accusing me publicly of sexual crimes against children, which is not only not true, but could very well endanger my physical safety and threaten my life. And you're doing this from the dais during an official city council meeting. Well, like I said, TC, I'm still looking for a defamation lawyer. So if you know any good defamation lawyers, let me know. I've called around, but it's, you have to find like a lawyer that's like the right fit for what you're looking for. So.
And maybe you're doing good, maybe you're not.
Look at this angry face. He is so angry. Such a vengeful, hateful person.
You come to me telling me you want to be the exclusive real estate agent for the city. And because I decided that we're going to take a different direction, all of a sudden.
Yeah, and no, not true. I hope he gets held accountable for that, Ryan. Thank you, Wyoming. Yep. I'm going to do my best. And that's what I'm going to end it with, the call to action. Yeah. So, and then he's saying that first of all, he's saying founding the Harvey Historical Society, like that's a bad thing. Like it's a good thing. I did that because he wants to demolish all our historic buildings, because he's a greedy a politician who doesn't care about his city or about his people. He pushes people out of their homes. He wants to demolish all our historic buildings, anything for money and profit and land and power.
You start the Harvey Historical Society and decide that you want to be interested in Harvey history.
Yeah, because I am. I've had family here for over 100 years. Not too many of our activists here can say that. Yeah, that laugh, I think that was Tyrone Rogers, which is ironic because do you know how many times Tyrone Rogers has been accused of serious sexual crimes against women? Including one that was just a few years ago. So, I mean, if anyone should be laughing, it shouldn't be him.
Find out what happened to the child. That's what you need to do.
And there's Delaney, the alderwoman. She thinks this is all a joke. They think this is a joke. They're all equally as guilty, in my view. They should. All three of them should be sued. They just think this is a funny thing. You think it's funny that I could get hurt or killed because you are allowing these horrible, baseless accusations to go public? You don't think that there are people who might believe you and then see it as their duty to come and kill me or something because they're like, oh, how could he abuse children? That's horrible. Let me take care of him. Shame on you. Shame. Oh. Several times. Oh, what was several times? Sorry, I don't know what happened to my video you got. Let me refresh. It was at 6:46, right? Okay. So I remember that. Come on, man. Internet, what the heck's going on? What you doing? There we go.
Maybe some.
Oh, and then Randall says, that's smoke. Get out of here. Marijuana ban. I don't know what he was trying to say, but that's another neighbor who criticizes the mayor and calls out what he sees. And he's trying to make him look bad too now.
He does the same thing. Don't come in here if your drawers is dirty trying to talk about me. Don't come in here if your drawers are dirty trying to talk about my staff or the city council.
We could go so many places with that comment, but I'll leave it for now.
Streets are getting done. Why are you here? It all depends on what you want. Because remember when Tony Franklin told him to sit down and have a seat after he got his 3 minutes in Cook County, he sat down.
Again, why do you even care, Clark? If you're not doing anything wrong, why do you care? So obviously he's obsessed with me. He follows everything I post, and he saw that I complained at the Cook County board meeting about the fact that we don't even know where any of the money goes, and the county gives us a lot of grants too. He is obsessed with me.
They feel like they don't have to follow the rules here. But they can go other places and do it and talk about this administration. Streets are getting done. Every first meeting of the month, this staff is getting up here telling everyone what's going on watching this. Now, I'm sure some people on Facebook are watching.
Oh, yeah, this is funny.
And maybe Ryan will cut out his segment.
No, Clark, I won't cut out my segment. But it's interesting because I believe the city probably edits and cuts out things that they don't want on theirs. That's why I always take my own video. And that's why your ass is getting sued, because you had me arrested last year, about a year ago, actually, because I was videoing a meeting. Because I don't trust you to take video, because you lie. Him and his administration drawers are full of crap, right? Exactly.
But if anybody's watching this, you know things are going on in this city. But you would rather down the city that you live in, which makes absolutely no sense. You want to set your own house on fire.
Now, that is isn't that an interesting analogy that he chose? Set your own house on fire. No, but are you is this another accusation that's a confession? Are you setting houses on fire? Interesting that he chose to make that comment. Look at her little face. She thinks this is all funny. She also has made comments. Why didn't you tell? She went on Jed's last week. Well, why didn't you tell everybody why you can't get a job teaching children anymore? Well, I don't know, Delaney Smith. Why didn't you tell me? What do you know that I don't? Because I haven't done anything wrong. Aren't you a social worker, Delaney Smith? With that kind of dirty mouth, how do you work with children every day? Maybe we should look into you and see what kind of work do you do as a social worker? Did they know what kind of nasty stuff that you're involved with in the city of Harvey? So maybe someone will have to look into that. Miss Delaney Smith, alderwoman of the 3rd Ward, who says, who dares me to tell people why I can't work with children anymore or something. She works with children. I haven't done anything wrong. I have always done my job well and with excellence and with good ethics. I wonder if you could say the same thing to Laney Smith.
This is that man. Buildings are being erected, businesses are coming. But you bring that smoke every single time, we're going to ask the same thing. What happened to that kid? And if that kid is out there, who probably is an adult by now, my number is 708-210-5300. Call me so we can get to the bottom of what really happened to you. And whatever psychological impacts that you have to go through because the teacher decided that they wanted to do something, at least allegedly, inappropriately with you.
So if you thought he couldn't get any worse, now he gives him his phone number and says, call me. Oh, you're probably an adult. Now I'll help you because obviously you were so traumatized. Oh, but they were just allegations. Well, you're the one putting it out there now, Clark. So you're in trouble. Because like I said, those kinds of accusations could ruin someone's career. They also could put my safety in jeopardy, even my life in jeopardy. So yeah, we're not going to let this go. No way.
Now, that being said, if there is nothing else for the bill, but I just want to let you know, I'm okay with that foolishness, and yes, I'll interrupt because I'm the chair.
Oh, look at you, big boy, with your gavel. I'm the chair. That is not a leader. A true leader is a servant leader. You don't lord it over people and arrest them and threaten them and call them pedophiles, endangering their career and their safety. You serve people and you figure out how can you make the town better? How can you make their lives better?
Don't come with that mess no more. If you want smoke, I'm ready for you.
So there you go. That's another threat. So he's threatening us.
I'm just letting you know. But coming in here making allegations.
There's Miss Smith again, staring at the camera. She loves the attention. She also loves all that money. You know, they get a $25,000 a year aldermanic stipend. The only ones who actually get paid that stipend are the ones that vote for Clark. So that's just only the stuff that we know about. We don't even know about. They could be getting land deals and all sorts of money because we don't see the receipts.
Acting like somebody's doing something wrong in this administration, that will not be tolerated. And if you decide that you want to do it, you're ready for pushback.
There you go, folks. So thanks for hanging in there. I was going to say I wanted to end about 2. We're close enough. So absolutely unexcusable or inexcusable. No, just because you don't like being criticized for stuff that you are doing wrong, you don't get to call people pedophiles. So we're not letting this go. We're not going to forget that. Let me show you. I'll show you guys the invitation for, oh wait, where is it? It's under events, right? Events. So Monday, the next meeting is Monday, and we're asking, I'm asking whoever can to please come out to City Hall. At 6 o'clock, we're going to have a press conference. I'm going to discuss the importance of solidarity, standing together. I don't care if it's, different races, ages, sexualities, whatever. We're all workers. We're all in this together. We are the ones that make society run, okay? It's not these rich, evil people, okay? We're the ones that make society run. They're trying to come for us and take what is rightfully ours, and I'm not going to stand for it. So it is Pride Month. This is look at this lovely invitation. There's a PFLAG group in Tinley that made it up. So City of Harvey board meeting, Monday, 6 p.m., support in Harvey. And she put a lovely little blurb about it. An openly gay Harvey resident's been called a pedophile publicly by the mayor in a videotaped meeting because the resident agrees with some of the mayor's policies and actions. We are asking the LGBTQ plus community and its supporters, so you don't have to be gay, and its supporters to show up to support the resident and make it clear slander against the LGBTQ plus community is never going to be tolerated. Please wear rainbow wear so there's a visible sea of support. So you don't have to public comment. Yeah, and this is Kathy with P Flag Tinley Park. So thank you again, you guys. You don't have to make public comment or anything. It's going to be at 15320 Broadway in Harvey at City Hall, Monday, this next Monday, 6 p.m. Even if you just show up and wear your rainbow gear, just showing up sends a statement. So please come and support me. And ultimately, remember, when you're standing up for LGBT people, you're standing up for Colby, you're standing up for Chappelle, for Mazurk, for the businesses, for anyone and everyone that the mayor and these greedy people are coming after, okay? Even for Diana. Thank you, Diana, so much. Thank you. She reminded me today, I forgot that there was a meeting where the police asked her to leave, which I was like, they're so rude. They're so rude. So we are not going to let them divide us. We're going to stick together, okay? But I do have to say, especially as a white gay male in a mostly Latino and Black community where I don't see a lot of visible LGBT folks, we're not, those of us that are LGBT are not often discussed or acknowledged or respected or seen or talked about. It's kind of like out of sight, out of mind, or let's not talk about the gays, because if we don't talk about them, or occasionally we say how they're of the devil and they need to be exorcised and they're living in sin, maybe they'll just go away. Well, I have news for you, and we're going to do more shows on this, but I regularly get messages from a lot of closeted, particularly Black men, Latino men as well, but they live here. They're in Harvey. Some of them have girlfriends. Some of them have wives. Some of them have grandchildren. They have children. They don't feel comfortable accepting themselves and being open publicly with who they are and who they are attracted to, who they want to love. They can be your neighbors, your friends, your relatives, your children. I guess it's under relatives, but if you think that just because, but this isn't the north side, well, go live up there. If you, first of all, we shouldn't have to have little ghettos, little neighborhoods where, okay, you'll be respected as gay if you just live in this area. No, that's not how I want society to be. We should all be able to live together, right? As long as you're being a nice person, you're not hurting anybody. But I put myself, I fly my rainbow flag literally in front of my house. Okay. I'm the only one it's the only one that I've seen in Harvey, but I'm putting myself out there to take the hits. Okay. Because I want those closeted Black men. I want those trans Black women who are murdered and are disappeared that no one ever talks about. Okay. I want those closeted Latino men, I want them to be able to be themselves and feel like they can actually come out and live who they want to be. If they want to be with a man or a woman or both or nobody, okay? The point is you should be able to just live your life and be happy and not be persecuted. We have people all the time. You see how this mayor is trying to devastate my life and endanger my safety with these comments. We have, just the Black community alone has extremely high rates of HIV positivity because of lack of sex education and lack of acceptance and acknowledgement that there are people that do have other relationships and other sexual relationships other than, sex within marriage between a man and a woman. So we need to change that. There's high HIV rates within the Black community. The suicide rates amongst the LGBT youth of color, especially, are extremely high. Like I said, Black trans women are routinely murdered and harassed and persecuted and disappeared, and you barely hear about it. You barely hear about it. So I want to be visible because there are other people who want to be visible, and they're here in Harvey and they're here in the Southland. You don't need to go up to the north side to find the gays. The gays, I say, okay. We're here. We're your friends. We're your neighbors. Just because we may not all be flamboyant, or effeminate or whatever you think, or butch lesbians, whatever you think that we might look like or we should look like, that doesn't mean we're not. We're everywhere. We are everywhere. So my concern is, come out to the meeting on Monday. It's at 6:00. We'll have the press conference. Everybody should be comfortable. Everyone should be comfortable. I should not have to go to the north side to be celebrated and loved and appreciated as a gay man, Your Black daughter or granddaughter who decides that she feels that she is trans, and maybe she wants to live and be acknowledged as a trans woman, a woman or a man, what have you. These youth, especially all ages, but these youth, they're kicked out of their homes at remarkably high rates, particularly in the Black community. That's not right. We've got to change that. We've got to, and the fact that this mayor would even throw out this accusation, that really worries me, and that shows that he feels that he's probably going to find some Black and Latino residents in Harvey who are going to agree with him and be like, yeah, because you're right, gays are pedophiles. Yeah, they rape kids. You're right. Yeah, let me go kill that Ryan guy. Let me go after him. No, we need to change that. We need to counter that message. And so I hope that Monday will be the start of that. It's not just about LGBT folks. Like I said, it's about everybody. We want to see women respected. We want to see people of all races. We have our Spanish speakers that get ignored regularly as well. They have very little representation, little to none in our government. But I'm a gay man, so I'm going to speak from that perspective and say we're everywhere. And the ones that you think, oh no, not my family, because we're good church-going people, yeah, we're missionary Baptists from way back in the day, and hallelujah, Jesus, we just we rebuke that spirit, and my nephew got cured of his gayness. No. They're everywhere. We're everywhere. But not in like in a creepy way, but trust me. And usually the more homophobic and cruel you are, the more, because you know how karma is, the more likely you are to have like a gay son or daughter, I find. I so find that, which also, I mean, is kind of sad. I hope that people get over it, doesn't get kicked out or have a miserable life, but something beeped. I don't know what beeped, you guys. I don't know what that meant. Oh, it was Facebook. No, apologies brought up a good point, tapping into the Latino community. Yeah, exactly. Right. And Latinos, like I said, Latinos often go through similar issues. It's like really tough, especially if you're from a traditional Catholic family, Again, it's like gay? No. That's not an option. It's just not an option. Well, we're going to work on that. We need to change that, not just for Harvey, but for the Southland. Thanks everybody for tuning in. And unless you guys have anything to add, I'm going to check out. I hope you enjoyed. It says we still have 15 people with us. I'm surprised. Thank you so much, you guys, for hanging out. Where's everybody from that's still here? Are you guys from like further out west? It's 2:15 here. I need to relax a little bit before bed. Oh, and then don't forget there's the cookout and the fashion show tomorrow. So I still have 16 people. It's crazy. I can't believe it, you guys, at this time. All right, well, I'll give you a second because I got to take these grapes back in the room anyway. But yeah, if you want to, if you wanted to bring anything else up, let me know before we go. you guys want to see Hubert? 2 a.m. Right. Exactly. Yeah. Hubert's resting. Say good night. Say bonne nuit. In French, good night is bonne nuit. So you say bonne nuit, Hubert. Bonne nuit. Mm-hmm. He's tired. You know, it takes a lot of work to be barking and doing a dog's job, right? Wow, I still have 16 people. Are you all actually like real watchers, or I don't understand? That's crazy. Thank you guys for staying with me. I didn't think people would be up this late. All right, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Thanks, Crook. Thanks, Diana. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful rest, and we'll talk soon.